Hello San Francisco fans, this is Christian Milan again here with another Secrets of San Francisco video, and this one is going to be on the mansions of Pacific Heights. Now this house was built for Clara Kluge, the mistress of Adolf Sutro. This light blue color actually is original. She picked that color along with the pinks that you see inside the house. And also it's built in the colonial style, you could tell by these palladium windows and these bullseye windows. And also these little pointy things at the top, not only do they allude to Adolf Sutro's German heritage, but they're also designed to make the building look taller. And right behind me is the Schmiegel house, and that was built in 1900. After 1906, the earthquake and fire, no building was allowed to be built with shingles because of the flammability. And it's built by the new Bay Region area of architects that include Bernard Maybeck, Willis Polk, Julie Morgan, just to name a few. And they wanted to get away from the Victorian style, so they incorporated a lot of Gothic elements, a lot of French elements, and a lot of other elements that were not Victorian. This house behind me is called the Gibbs Mansion. It was done in the Greco-Roman style by Willis Polk. He was the part of that first Bay Region of architects, and it was owned by Chris Columbus, who directed Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire. It was recently sold for $13 million, and it's actually now worth $17 million today. Now this building right here was done by Albert Farr in the 1920s. He wanted to design a building that got away from the Victorian style in that first Bay Region of architect style. So as you can note, this is actually a French style roof called a Mansard roof. And it looks like there's windows coming out of the attic. The reason why they did that was for tax purposes. You were taxed on the amount of bedrooms you had. So if you had a Mansard roof, those bedrooms would count as the attic. This building actually became the French Consulate in the 1960s. Now this building right here was designed in 1895 by a man named Ernest Coxhead, and we call it a Smith Scott house. Mr. I.M. Scott actually bought this as a present for his daughter. Her name was Alice, and there's a lot of elements about this house that alludes to Alice in Wonderland, her favorite book. If you know the entrance, this medallion at the very top has little rabbits on the bottom and the top. If you go inside this house, you'll find there's a lot of reference to Alice in Wonderland inside as well. There's actually bunnies all over the place. In the back, there's a hedge maze and little toad sculptures as well. And there's also the Fleur de Lis symbol here at the top on the front, and that symbolizes royalty. This building behind me is actually the Mack House, designed for Julius Mack by Albert Pisces. Pisces also did the Mechanics building downtown and the Israel Temple. He designed it to make it look like a Greco-Roman temple, hence the columns and also the dental molding and also the egg and dart at the very roof. Egg and dart is an architectural symbol meaning life, egg, and dart, death. There's also dahlias at the top, and in here, dahlias are the San Francisco official flower. Dahlias are actually from Mexico, and they're a late bloomer. Similarly, San Francisco was formerly owned by Mexico and is also a late bloomer. These edgework right here, they're called quoins. Quoins are meant to give the building structure. Artichokes on this building as well, and that's to symbolize good health. Now this house right here is a James Irvine house, and it was built in 1895. Now James Irvine owns about 1/3 of the land in Orange County, and it's done in the Elizabethan style and built in 1895. And the reason why it's Elizabethan is because it combines stucco and timber in its architectural elements. Now we get into the 1940s, and this house right here was designed by a very famous Bay Area architect named William Wurster. And William Wurster was into the Bauhaus style of architecture, and he believed that the outside should not be as important as the inside and the utility of the house. Now this house behind me is done in the Tudor Revival style, and it was designed by Louis Hobart, who also designed Grace Cathedral on Nob Hill. And it was actually the British Consulate at one time, and even Queen Elizabeth was said to have visited here. Now this is the grandest house in all of Pacific Heights. It's called the Flood Mansion. It includes the buildings to the left and also the building on the other side. Now this house was actually built by James L. Flood for his wife Maud. Maud was a really good Catholic, and she lived here for 13 years before donating these buildings to the Catholic Archdiocese. It was built in 1912, and it was cost $1 million, which is a huge sum back then. So that's my tour of the mansions of Pacific Heights. Please like this video, and if you have any questions about your group travel, please see the link down below, milanhospitality.com, and hope you have a magical day.